Royal Insider speaks out says, no one knew what to do after Princess Diana's death. Greetings from royal family alid on my channel. This is what a former employee of Princess Diana is remembering about the responses from others who worked in the royal household following her passing. Millions of people all throughout the world were startled and devastated to learn of Princess Diana's passing more than 25 years ago. For the royal family and other members of their household, it was likewise unfamiliar territory. They needed to come to terms with the fact that the mother of a further future monarch and the ex-wife of the heir apparent were no longer alive. Speaking forward now, someone who experienced that period of time is describing what transpired in the days that followed the princess's passing when no one knew what to do. The way Queen Elizabeth responded to Princess Diana's passing drew criticism. Senior royal family members were awakened in the wee hours of August 31, 1997, to the news that Princess Diana had perished in a Paris automobile accident. Thank you, please share my video. Many were anticipating a longer statement from Buckingham Palace or the Queen herself as word of what had transpired circulated throughout Britain and beyond, not just that the family was deeply shocked and distressed. The public also anticipated that the royals would immediately end their vacation at Balmoral Castle and head back to England, but they chose not to. A few hours after their mother's death, Queen Elizabeth was seen with Prince William and Prince Harry at their regular Sunday church service, which drew harsh criticism. The family decided to stay in Scotland for a few days so William and Harry could grieve in solitude, according to a later article. When the royal family arrived on September 5, the Queen gave a speech to the public in which she declared her admiration and regard for her ex-daughter-in-law. Nobody knew what to do in the days following Diana's passing, according to the princess's former assistant. Regarding the employees of the royal household, a former worker disclosed that the shock of Diana's passing left everyone not knowing what to do. When Princess Diana passed away, Paul Burrell, her butler, claimed to have been able to communicate with Queen Elizabeth and receive a response. According to Burrell, who was speaking on Slingo's behalf, the atmosphere was tense. You could cut it with a knife behind closed doors. There was a page missing from the rulebook, but everyone was still pouring through it because these were unprecedented times. Since no one understood what to do, they had to make it up as they went along, sometimes making mistakes. Despite the confusion and disorientation that surrounded me, I was able to focus after my initial anguish. I understood my obligations. Being in such a bizarre universe was weird. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. I assumed command of Kensington Palace, my unit, and I was determined to reach Diana as soon as possible. I knew that my messages would reach the Queen, so I used the Princess Controller to send them to the private secretary. I was worried that the princess would be brought to the Chapel Royal, a dark and dusty sight she had never been to before, when she got back to England. Wouldn't it be more appropriate if the princess returned to Kensington Palace to spend time in the place where she'd had spent the majority of her life? I wrote a message. The Queen replied with a telegram that said, "I think that's a wonderful idea.